How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another weekly watch list for this upcoming week in the stock market. I hope you guys have all had a good weekend so far and had a good week in the market last week. September definitely off to a much better start than August for myself personally, and also just in regards to levels being respected, price action, etc. Like it was a really solid week. Lots of follow through, just clean, smooth price action. So hopefully we get some more of that this week. If you're watching this now, I just wanted to say before going any further, thank you very much. I believe this is my 42nd watch list now since starting them about a year ago. So looks like, there's obviously some missed weeks here and there for, I believe, just holidays, things like that. But I have made a good effort to do one every single week. I'll have to go back to see when I actually started. It might have been like late September, early October. But, other than like, holiday or something like that, I've done a watch list on YouTube every single week, and that was a big goal of mine to accomplish this past year. So I'm really looking forward to the next year and so on of watch lists, right? Again, I'm 2 years into trading, and I genuinely enjoy making these videos. I learn from them myself. They're fun for me. So if anyone else can pick up on anything from them, that's just icing on the cake. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. So real quick, before I go any further, this week will be 9/11 as well. If you're American and watching this, you know what that is. Most people, non-Americans, know as well. Maybe I'm naive to assume that. But it is historically bullish. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I did see that for like 17 years in a row or something like that now. It's like SPY was, the S&P was green for the day. It was like somewhere between like a $1 to like a $5 change over the course of all the 9/11s over the last like 17 years. So that's something to keep in mind for this week. So we will see what happens with that. All right. So kicking things off with SPY, I do really like the levels this week. Lots of good supply, demand, levels of interest, things like that. So on SPY on the daily, obviously things right now are pulling back from that double top at all-time highs. So we have this really strong move up. We are pulling back. What's your boy pulling out? The fibs. So 50 and 61 fib are going to be huge for me this week. Let's bring it down to a 4-hour time frame. Okay. So this 50 fib, as you can see, lines up exactly with a level I already had marked. And again, where did I get this level from? It was a previous day low while we were making this uptrend. That, of course, we have not retested it. So it has been on my chart since August 13th, okay? But the 50 fib lines up with it directly for extra confluence. So break below this previous day low, I definitely expect to see a bounce here at this 50 fib at 536.14. If we do break below that, my next bounce is going to be down here at 530.96. And then below that, we have the 61 fib and this 528 level that line up, okay? So that's going to be what I'm looking for as far as bounces goes. If we continue to break below that, then I will pull out the 78 fib because we did bounce that. This is exactly where we bounced after that huge drop. We bounced directly at the 78 fib from a prior swing high and swing low. So I will put that back on the chart, but we do have a demand zone here in this area here. We have 4-hour demand here at this 516. It's also 2-hour demand as well. Shout out to Brandon Trades for the 2-hour time frame. I have been using that recently and it has been super helpful. So we do have that below, and then below that 514. So, but that's what I'm really gonna be looking for, is a bounce somewhere in this area. But again, if we break below the 50, retest, move back down. I do have this level here, this 533. This was a previous day close somewhere in this area around the 11, 12, something like that. And we never retested it. So I did keep it on the chart, but it's just like, if I take a reject play here off this 50 fib, like we break, retest, move back down, I could potentially use this as a profit target, to shake some off of a trade if I'm actively in a trade, before being like maybe fully out of position here at this 530. So that'll be interesting to see. As far as other big areas of interest, so we do have this I really like this first. We have this previous demand zone, right? Came down, bounced off it, a small bounce, ripped right through it. So this 544 to 545, this previous demand, I'd like to see that turn to resistance. And it also just happens to be the bottom of this supply zone here. So as you can see, we have this 4-hour supply zone. So I'm going to keep it separate just because this is the previous day high here from Friday, which I always have marked out. And then this is that previous demand zone. So I will keep them separate. But I mean, this whole area here looks good for some sort of reject. But again, it's a massive area. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. but I'm going to keep this on the chart just because it was a really strong demand. I do think we come up reject somewhere in this area. I'm really not interested in looking at longs though. Like say we break above this, I could potentially take a long play to the top of the zone and then even into the 2 hour, actually it's a 30 minute. I'll go to that in a second. But I mean, this is also a 2 hour supply as well. So it's like you're longing into supply and it just does not seem ideal. That said, it's something that could still be worth taking if we break above this 545 and bounce or break, retest, move back up to this 550. I mean, there's definitely room there for sure, especially if you look at it on the 30 minute, because then we have a 30 minute supply here. So it could take it up to this level here at 549.72. And then of course the previous day high at 551. So we'll see how it plays out. If we even get up there. Above that, I have next at this 554. This was a previous demand that we bounced several times. And then, I mean, take a look at that level. I mean, it's super strong. You know, we rejected it and then we held it, bounce one, bounce two, broke through, and then look at that, flip to resistance. So that's a really, really good level. Then above that, we pretty much just have like around all-time high. So that's everything on SPY. ES is obviously very similar considering it follows SPY, but we do have 4 hour supply. So let's head over to the 4 hour. So very similar look here, 4 hour supply. In that 4 hour supply, we have 30 minute supply here. I do have this level on the chart as well as previous, is again, just like it looks like on SPY, it's a previous demand. I'd like to see price move up here and look for potential reject in this area as well. Okay, so that's going to be everything there on ES in regards to resistances, rejects. Above that supply, if we do get through there, then of course I have more supply up here, all the way at 56, 55. I would see a potential reject happening somewhere up here at 55.61. I believe on the 30 minute, there's a supply zone up there. Yeah, so here. So this could also be another reject here in this area here. So we'll do this. So this is like another 30 minute supply, right? Let's see, as far as bounces go on ES, same thing. We're looking at our 50 fib, which also lines up with this previous level I've had marked out. I believe I got it from the 4 hour. I've had it on there for a minute. Yeah, so over here, bounced it, came through, had a little bit of a support here. So that lines up nicely with the 50 fib. I'll be watching that as well. And then below that, we have the 61 fib. Of course, we're looking for a bounce there. And then real quick, if I go down to the 2 hour, I'm pretty sure there is going to be, yeah, there will be demand down here. So let's get out our rectangle here, if you will. We can mark out this demand zone on the 2 hour. So I'm really liking this 2 hour. So again, shout out to Brandon Trades, very educational guy here in the space. He'll obviously probably never ever see this video, but if you do, Brandon, just know I appreciate you and I've learned a fuck ton from you. So thank you. And if you guys are watching this, I highly recommend checking out Brandon Trades. But anyways, so that 2 hour demand looks good for a bounce as well. I probably would mark the 78 fib as well on this too if we do break below the 61. So that's going to be everything on ES. So again, when I'm trading SPY, I'm also watching ES. I do have this potential level here, this blue one. It's just because it was the gap. It was the gap fill. So I could see it's this potential, and we bounced it once, twice, 3 times. So I could see it being resistance now. And then again, let me see real quick on that 4 hour. Again, we have that demand, that previous demand. Oh, actually, I'm looking here. That previous demand here. If price does get back up in this area, not only are we entering that 4 hour supply, it was that previous 4 hour demand. And we could see that go from support, right, to resistance, because we did come into that 4 hour demand. We had a small bounce, and then that bounce immediately turned into supply. These are going to be my SPX levels for the week. SPX is really simple. I just mark previous day high, previous day low in red. Any levels that don't get hit or areas of interest, I mark in white. So really what I'm looking for is a break below this previous day low, come down here to this next level here at this 53.72. That's going to be the next level that I have here on the chart. I think it was a gap. Can't remember. No, not really. But it is a level that I have. It was a previous day high in the past, so that would be my next level of interest on SPX. So let's go over to QQQ and NQ. So QQQ, same thing, looking pretty, bearish on the daily. We have the 61 fib marked out because the 50 fib was already passed. You can't even see it, but this is actually a green level here. Like if I remove, let's see, if I'll put this up. If I remove the 61 fib, see the green level is already here. This is a previous day low I already had marked out. And as you can see, it lines up literally to the T with a 61 fib. So I will absolutely be looking for a bounce here, which could be hit first thing Monday morning. So that's going to be my first bounce. Below that, I do have 437.10. And then below that, I have 432. And again, that's also going to be a 2-hour demand, I believe, down here at this 432. As far as rejects go, same thing. We have a 4-hour supply here, all the way starting at 461, all the way down to 455. So instead of marking out this ginormous zone, I just marked the bottom in red, a red line here of the bottom of the 4-hour supply. This was a potential level I already had as well. This blue dotted one, again, blue dotted is my potential levels. Again, we had a lot of support there, broke through. I'd like to see maybe that could be an area of resistance, but it's more so like if, I'm in a long position, it could be a profit target. But again, not quite sure about longing here because anything over 455, we're going to be longing into supply. So again, previous day highs up here, 461, but that 4-hour supply does come all the way down. And then I just want to double check if we have 30-minute supply in this. Not quite. I mean, if this candle was green, it would be, but that's why it pretty much takes out the previous day high here. But above that, we do have another previous day high above it. So let me zoom out here a little bit. We have a previous day high level that was support. So actually, let me go back out here, back to the 30-minute. Oops, wrong level or wrong time frame. So we have this other previous day high here that was a previous day low at one point. But it is 30-minute supply. So I did mark that level out as well here at the bottom of this candle here. Now I could stretch this zone down to the level, but I'll just leave it as is for now. So that's going to be everything I'm looking for on QQQ. Above the previous day high, again, we have this level here. So this was also a really strong level. It was a previous demand. Didn't really get, we did get a bounce when we returned to the level, and then we broke through and retested it perfectly. So this 465 looks really good for a reject. There was also really good confluence in this area as well. And as you can see, we did finally break out of this channel here. It's funny because a couple of watch lists ago, I was like looking for like a break of this channel because it looked like a massive bull flag, and just, of course, that didn't work out. So we ended up breaking below it. So come up here, maybe retest this trend line. That could be another area of resistance. So if we break it down to like a 15-minute time frame, say we end up getting back above previous day low, you could definitely take a long position here with a stop below the previous day low or yesterday or Friday's close, and you could pretty much take this all the way back up maybe to this actually it would probably be around here. You could take it up to the trend line and have some sort of reject in this area here with the end of that, the bottom of that 4-hour supply in the trend line. That looks like a pretty good place for a reject. It'll obviously be the same shit on NQ, right? Same fucking thing, right? We have a 4-hour supply here. We have, I believe, is there 2-hour? So it's 2-minute. Let me see. Is there 2-hour supply in here? We do have 2-hour supply, so I do have marked that out in red as well. And the same thing, we're looking for a bounce at the 61 fib, which also lines up here with this level that I had marked, and we're already kind of hitting it now. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of reaction we have to that literally right now, like tonight. And it looks like we're bouncing it. I mean, that's pretty strong confirmation at the level there, 15-minute hammer. So we will see if we can bring it back up into that. It'd be interesting to see if over the pre-market you see on QQQ, we come back up into this area. But as far as bounces go in NQ, again, same shit. We have 2-hour demand down here. We have another level below that if we break below the 61. And of course, we have this previous demand, turn of resistance here. And then above that, I have more supply up here as well in this, 1960-30 area. So lastly, that leaves IWM. I did not trade IWM at all last week. I'm still keeping up with the levels and everything, just didn't trade it. And I've just been really focusing on SPY and QQQ, and even more so QQQ. So we have this giant 4-hour supply that we did reject last week. So that was nice to see, and it kind of set the tone for the rest of the week. So taking it down to a smaller time frame, previous day high and the previous day low. So previous day low was really here, up here at this 207. Not this 205, but this 205 was already a bounce area for me. It was a previous demand. And we kind of, it lines up with this 61 fib as well. So I'm not going to be shorting unless we get below this level anyways. So below 205, I'm looking at puts. And below 205 for potential bounce, I probably would mark out that 78 retracement as well as a bounce. Just kind of just see where that is. So just out of curiosity, let's chart that real quick. That's going to be down here at this 202. So I'll get rid of that just for now, unless we start getting below it. And I do have this like demand support area down here at this 203 area. I do have another level here, another previous day low, 204.85. So that'd be the first thing I'd be looking at underneath the previous day low. I do have a couple potential levels here on IWM. So the first one being this 208 level. So if we go over to the 4-hour time frame, it was a good area of confluence. We did have like supply up here. We rejected it again, pretty much swept the level hardcore here, rejected again, broke through, and then kind of like retested it on the lower time frame here. It was just like an area of resistance here intraday. So I'm going to keep that on the chart. And then it's the same thing with this other potential level just above it here at this 209.92 area. I believe, let me see, go to the 1 hour. Again, when these levels that are blue, they're potential. I'm not taking really trades at these levels. I'm using them as like profit targets if I'm in a trade and maybe we get some support or resistance at that level and I want to take some off or something like that. But it was a strong area of support over here. It was a previous day low. We hadn't retested it since till here, and we did bounce off of it again, broke through, retested as resistance. And then above that, of course, we have the previous day high. So that's going to be everything this week. So this is my longest watch list video to date. So again, you can tell that this is definitely a good week. Lots of levels, areas of interest. So hopefully we get some smooth price action to follow up with it. No fucking fuckery. That would be really, really nice. Just trades that follow through and do what they're supposed to do. So if you made it this far in the video, please consider dropping a like, dropping a comment, subscribing. That would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for watching the video. I wish you the best week inside and outside the market, and I will see you all in the next watch list.